Colonel Kärönen, Colonel Heikkinen, first of all, thank you for your hospitality, and we very much look forward to working with you over the coming days on the HX Challenge. Good morning, everyone. My name is Paul Hitchcock. I am BAE Systems Managing Director based here in Finland, in Helsinki. And first of all, we're delighted to be here at the invitation of the Finnish Ministry of Defence, and we look forward to demonstrating and proving the exceptional capability of the Eurofighter aircraft and wider system. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the ambassadors from the UK, Germany, Italy and Spain, who represent the 4 Eurofighter partner nations, for joining us here today. And you will be hearing from them very shortly. I'm also delighted that we have senior representatives here today from the UK Ministry of Defence, the Royal Air Force, and from our industry partners, Airbus. This morning you will hear from the ambassadors. You will hear from John Rossall, who is BAE Systems Campaign Director for the Finland HX programme, and from Steve Formoso, BAE Systems Chief Test Pilot, who will be conducting a number of the trials over the next 10 days. After which we will have the opportunity for some questions, which will be moderated by Simon Astley, a member of our communications team. We will then move outside, where you have the opportunity to see, to film the Eurofighter aircraft. There will also be a short briefing at that time in front of the aircraft by one of our senior test pilots, Piers Dudley. We could also offer interviews at that time, in case I'm not quite sure we're going to have enough time for questions as we go through this, so there will be time at the end of the presentation if there are further interviews required. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce His Excellency Tom Dodd, the British Ambassador to Finland. Tom.
So thank you, Paul, and good morning, everybody. It's very good to be here in Finland. It's very good to be at Saksan. Thank you very much for hosting this event. A packed room. I think that demonstrates the real importance of HX actually for Finland. This is a big aircraft, a big decision. I know there are some international colleagues here as well as Finnish journalists. Welcome to them too. It is actually a remarkably warm Finland at the moment, so don't be confused. I think it's cold outside, it's not cold at all. It's a pleasure really to be here at this media day in support of the winter trial of Eurofighter. I'm speaking first because the UK is leading the Eurofighter campaign in Finland. And I'll be joined in a minute by my colleagues, Ambassador Gabriele Altana from Italy, Deputy Ambassadors Hans Koppel from Germany, and Luis Garcia Lumbares from Spain, and they'll be saying a few words in that order in a moment. Now I can confirm that this campaign has the full support of all 4 governments represented here today. The Eurofighter is the mainstay of the air forces of the UK, Germany, Italy and Spain, and will be for many decades to come. The aircraft is proven operationally, particularly in cold weather climates in Baltic air policing. The RAF has also used this operationally in Syria and Iraq and in Libya to great success. My CV, personally, I have a lot of security background. I've spent a lot of time in conflict zones. And I can tell you how important it is to have an air force, an air combat fighter that turns up on time and is reliable. That is very important. And the Eurofighter is a very reliable and capable aircraft. Eurofighter is also the only pan-European aircraft in this competition. And to head off any questions about Brexit, I spend most of my time doing Brexit. Brexit is completely irrelevant to this competition, to the Eurofighter offer, in terms of contracting, supply and support. This is not an EU project, it is not an EU plane. It has nothing to do with Brexit. This is a pan-European offer, but obviously for the UK, it builds on a deepening and very strong bilateral defence relationship with Finland. The UK is doing more in Finland defence-wise in terms of air, ship and land forces than ever actually in Finland's history as an independent state. We also, as the UK, we have a very long defence industrial partnership with Finland. If you look at the Hawk, for example, the training mainstay of the Finnish Air Force, that goes back right back to the 1960s. I have a picture in my office of President Kekkonen sitting in a Hawk plane from the 1960s. So this is a long-term relationship. Overall, we believe that this is the best fit for Finland's needs in terms of capability, reliability and adaptability into the future. We commend this plane to you, and now I pass to my Italian counterpart. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Ladies and gentlemen. Not about the plane, but about what the platform means for Italy, what it has meant in the recent past. We got almost 90 of them, mostly one-seaters. They form the backbone and the bulk of our Air Force, and they will be the backbone of our Air Force for many years to come. Operated with success, not big problems. Operated on our territory, in allied countries, in environments ranging from Iceland to Estonia to Libya. It's a reliable, sturdy, versatile plane, and our Air Force is very satisfied with them. As Tom said, it's a European plane, but it doesn't mean that it appeals only to Europeans. As the UK is leading the campaign here, the four partners are sharing this job around the world. We did it in a number of countries, including Kuwait, where the initial operating capability will be declared next summer. 28 of them equipped with custom chosen range of various things chosen by the client, adapted to their needs, and we think, the four nations, that this approach could be followed also here in Finland. And now I leave the floor for my two next colleagues.
Good morning, Commanders. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here for Germany. For Germany, the Eurofighter is of utmost importance now and in the future. This has to be seen in the light of technical and operational capabilities of the Eurofighter jet as weapon system, and in the strategic context as well. The Eurofighter stands, as it was mentioned by my predecessors, for a highly successful European four-nation partner nations program. It offers its users broad possibilities to be integrated into European fighters' users' structures and benefits from efficient and effective international cooperation with European air forces of Germany, Great Britain, Italy and Spain. Just one, but a particularly convincing example of great benefits and potential of the Eurofighter community surely is the Royal Air Force German Luftwaffe combined air policing project and NATO's air policing Baltic missions. It was mentioned before, and I think you know, next door's neighbor. When our president was actually visiting Finland last year, he was actually accompanied by European fighter jets into the Finnish airspace at that time. Thank you again very much. At the moment, Germany is operating 140 Eurofighters, and the decision to replace Tranche 1 Eurofighters by up to 38 brand new Tranche 4 aircrafts has been taken, and the contractual preparations are ongoing. The delivery is forecast to start 2025, just being in line and in accordance with what we've just seen with the Finnish fighter plan replacement planning. Eurofighter is and will be and remain the backbone of the German Air Force well into the second half of the century, and will play a very important role in the future combat air system, so-called FCAS. This is why Germany has greatest interest in permanently keeping the Eurofighter in an up-to-date status. And I want to reiterate, of course, that Germany can offer support and partnership in case of a pro-Eurofighter decision. Thank you very much. Now, my Spanish content.
Huomenta, good morning. I am the Chargé d'Affaires of the Embassy of Spain to Finland. I'm very glad to be here in the context of supporting the Eurofighter campaign. I want to share some brief remarks in addition to what the previous heads of mission said. Eurofighter, which is a program with a true European character, has proven itself as the ideal alternative, low risk and with fast implementation for Spain, for my country. From our perspective, the Eurofighter is the only aircraft that guarantees Spain sovereign control and security of supply. When it comes to the confidence of Spain in Eurofighter, I have to share with you the following information. My country approved a budget of 906 million euros in 2018 for the modernization of its Eurofighters fleet through the P2E version, phase 2 enhancement. I want to focus on one of the numerous fields with positive aspects of the Eurofighter program. So please let me focus on the fact that the Eurofighter program has been and can continue to be one of the main engines of the aerospace sector in Spain. There are more than 30 companies which act as subcontractors of the Eurofighter. In Spain, the total employment generated by the Eurofighter program is estimated at some 22,000 employees, which include direct, indirect, and induced. And something at last, which I think is a crucial element of these impact, a very important impact in the aerospace sector, is that most of these jobs are highly qualified, participating in all the developments made in the program, and acquiring a technology that is highly transferable to other industrial sectors of the country. Kiitos paljon.
Once again, ambassadors, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to support us here today. I would now like to ask John Rossall, BAE Systems Eurofighter Finland Campaign Director, who is to give a brief overview of the benefits we believe Eurofighter delivers. John.
Good morning. Good morning. I recognise a few faces around here. I think I've met some of you before. Following the ambassadors, and before we get to Steve, the pilot, I'm the meat in the sandwich. Usually the meat's the best bit. Unfortunately, in this instance, I horridly disappoint you. But I've only got a mere 10 pages of text to go through, but I will get through it as quickly as I possibly can so we can talk to Steve. So, I lead the Eurofighter campaign on behalf of industry, our industrial partners. And I'd like to thank our hosts here at the base and the Finnish Air Force HX programme representatives for the opportunity to participate in the HX challenge. The whole HX process is an example for all. The industrial partners involved in the Eurofighter programme, Airbus, Leonardo, BAE Systems and the Eurojet consortium, including Rolls-Royce and MTU, are the largest in Europe and among the largest in the world. The European nature of the programme and the partnership is one of the important messages that I wish to leave you with today. In headline terms, the companies that make up the partnership are a combined 120 billion euros of turnover in European industry. We employ over 250,000 people worldwide, and we sustain a supply chain of over 25,000 suppliers. We have a combined order book in excess of 630 billion euros. Our breadth of capability across the partnership is second to none. Today I'm going to provide you with some information about our comprehensive proposal, appreciating where we are in the process and respecting our hosts. We're addressing the RFQ requirements and will provide a response to the revised RFQ at the end of this month. But in doing so, we take due account of the Finnish government's industrial participation and securing Finnish defence technology industrial base policy documents. And also, we're very aware of why Finland is replacing the capability of its Hornet fleet. They were very clearly set out in a document to the Finnish Ministry of Defence back in June 2015, entitled Preliminary Assessment for the Replacement of Capabilities of the Hornet fleet. In response to the requirements, our proposal on behalf of the Eurofighter nations and our industry and partners will address the increasingly complex security situation in Europe, recognising Finland's unique geographical and political position. Ensure Finland retains sovereign control over its combat capability, combined with strengthening European defence cooperation, and ensure full interoperability. Eurofighter offers full sovereign control of the comprehensive capability for Finland, wherever the mission might be. Eurofighter utilises latest sensors, ISR capability, and advanced multi-role weaponry to perform against a true multi-role task. Eurofighter will provide Finland with a platform capable of performing all its specified missions. Eurofighters are operationally deployed around the world by the core partner nations, including the Baltic Air and Icelandic policing role, Syria and the Falkland Islands. In addition, Eurofighter deploys on exercises and combat missions in geographical locations with diverse weather conditions. Eurofighter has earned the trust of all the nations to which it performs the most important role, homeland defence, 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year on quick reaction alert. Build on the foundations of a strong European partnership, more than 550 Eurofighters aircraft are in service with over 550,000 flying hours currently logged. And Eurofighter continues to grow in strength and capability. The partner nations have recognised the benefit of and are committed to developing and integrating future technologies on Eurofighter as a route through to a European future combat air system with a systems of systems approach. By selecting Eurofighter, Finland would be ideally positioned to be part of a European future combat air development. We understand that independent control and security of supply has proven to be critical in the Finland defence capability in peacetime and in conflict. Eurofighter delivers this sovereign capability for Finland, allowing Finland to build resilience for national requirements and providing complete freedom of action and independence of operation. Should Finland select Eurofighter, it would operate a combat-proven, class-leading, multi-role weapons system which has a strong development roadmap through to the second half of this century. Coming back to the European nature of our proposal. Our proposal is about ensuring Finland has control of its military capability Finland is procuring, and control over Finland's sovereign data. We will enable this through a core programme relationship and an industrial partnership that will also ensure that Finland has control of the development of their own military capability independently and can participate in a true partnership with the Eurofighter nations of Germany, Spain, Italy and the UK. Data is critical in modern life. It is created, collected and used by individuals and institutions. Ownership and control of our own personal data is important. Ownership and control of your sovereign military, security and intelligence data is absolutely essential. The Finnish military will be empowered through the enabling partnership and the transfer of technology to collect, take ownership of and control their data, to use it for themselves across all domains, share it with their partners and control its access with allies. Finnish industry will be empowered also through the transfer of skills and technology to perform the tasks required by them of the Finnish forces, with all the access to intellectual property that the core partner companies of the Eurofighter programme enjoy and use to support their nation's militaries. Capability including building, maintaining, enhancing and operating your assets through Finnish companies by Finns and obviously in Finland. The combination of these technologies and capability transfers will provide security of supply and true control. Our offer to Finland is one of partnership. We want Finland as a partner in our programme, and the key Finnish industry is to be partners with us in the programme. Through that partnership, Finland will be able to participate in the long-term future of the Eurofighter programme, contributing to the development of capability that will ensure new threats are countered well into the second half of this century. This partnership cannot be taken lightly. Combining the access to technology and control of sovereign data, Finland will be able to demonstrate its capability to guard its borders, respond to acts of aggression, and protect the vital functions of society. Control of its data will aid it in the independent decision-making capabilities of state leadership. For Finnish industry, it will mean that the roles undertaken by Finns will secure sovereignty, will be high-end, added value, knowledge-based and sustainable. But what we also need to say, the Finnish military control what the Eurofighter programme and the industry deliver. That is why we characterise our proposal in terms of its Finnish participation. Access, technology and capability will be transferred to achieve the aims of the Finnish Defence Forces, and they will be in control. In summary, our proposal will be for the benefit of Finland. It will ensure Finland has control of its industry, its data, and its place in an increasingly important European defence, space and security environment. To do this, we will offer partnership. We will provide the critical capabilities and technology and ensure the control of sovereign data. We will provide the means to build, maintain, enhance and operate Finnish assets under the control of the Finnish military and supported by Finnish companies. Thank you. I'll now pass you over to the main event, which is, if anybody didn't know at the beginning when Paul introduced us, one's a salesman and one's a pilot. No guesses for no prizes for guessing. So Steve Formoso, our BAE Systems combat aircraft chief test pilot.
Thank you. Well, it's great to be here this morning and be part of the team that are doing the demonstration of the Eurofighter to the Finnish Air Force and Finland as a whole. My name's Steve Formoso. I'm the chief test pilot of BAE Systems combat aircraft. My background with Eurofighter, I've been flying it since 2006. So I've seen the platform develop on its way through, and I've operated it with the Royal Air Force and with industry as well. So I've seen it from both the end user and also now in the development path. I say we're really proud to be here, and over the next 10 days to operate with the Finnish Air Force and directly demonstrate to them the capability that Eurofighter offers. And to that end, we'll have Finnish Air Force test pilots in the aircraft with us while we're doing the demonstration sorties. The sortie will be taking place this afternoon for us to fly. A lot of what I was going to say has been said already in terms of Eurofighter and the wider program and the capabilities. But from my side and with my experience of the program and its wider utility, Eurofighter offers a combat-proven, robust and flexible platform that's available 24/7, 365 days a year to deliver capability, whether it's air-to-air or air-to-surface in any of the environments. And we believe that is able to be exploited within the Finnish environment also and meet the needs of Finland for now and for the future. As a pilot, the platform is really easy to fly, really simple to operate, and it's has a world-class flight control system which allows the pilot to really exploit the aerodynamic performance in any of those environments and get the most out of the Eurofighter. Again, whether it's taking it into an air dominance role or whether it's exploiting an air-to-surface task, and also swing very quickly between those roles. You have a unique environment to operate in, and we believe that Eurofighter is capable of operating within that flexibly and effectively. We have an advanced range of sensors that feed information into the pilot and also into the wider networks that it's able to seamlessly operate within, allowing the best sharing of information and data, both tactically while pilots are operating within the environment, but we touched on the information itself as well. That information is your information, and it's able to be exploited by Finland as part of their operational capability, and you own it. You are able to do what you want with it to rapidly react to changes in threats and changes in targeting or tactics as you flow through. That will be complemented by a wide spectrum of weapons, both European and US, within the offer as it comes through. Again, to allow the platform, allow Eurofighter to best exploit the targets that are out there, whether they are again air targets or surface targets or maritime. Environmentally, we've touched several times on the capability of Eurofighter to be deployed into different environments, and it's being combat proven within those environments as well. I offer the example to you of the Baltic air policing as a way to show that the platform is able to operate within the environment similar to yours. However, we are aware that Finland offers a different and unique challenge to fighter aircraft, and we look forward to working with the Finnish Air Force to show what the platform is capable of and prove it within the unique environment that you offer over here. Finally, for the future, Eurofighter, the commitment has been discussed already in terms of potential the tranche 4 buy with Germany, and also the long-term evolution of the platform is being looked at by the programme as a whole, and taking it on so that it continues to deliver capability out into the future and into time frames that would be supporting Finland and Finland's involvement, direct involvement in the programme, should you choose to buy the platform. That's all I have in terms of the quick start of the time. I believe we're into questions and discussions on what the platform is.
There's one other thing. As you'll see, Steve is rather a large chap, so the Eurofighter cockpit can actually take pilots of all shapes and sizes. Sorry, Steve. We're now going to get into questions and answers, and I'll ask Simon to facilitate that. Simon, thanks, Paul.
Morning, I'm Simon Astley. I'm Head of Communications for BAE Systems for this programme. I'm joined today by my colleagues from the wider company, who will be very happy. Our job here today is to facilitate your interviews, photographs, anything at all that you want while we're here this morning. So, Simon, I'm going to ask my colleagues to give you a wave wherever they are. So, we've got, over here we've got David, we've got Adam. What else? I'm trying to see who else we've got. Joe over there, and our consultant Markku, who thankfully is Finnish, should make things a little bit easier. So, because none of us are particularly skilled with the language. So yeah, so we're here to facilitate anything like that we can do, both in here and when we go outside to the aircraft for the briefing that Paul mentioned earlier. One other quick point before we get to the questions. We've got a press pack for you. We will email that out to you all individually. We've got B-roll film as well. So we should be able to facilitate anything you need, and any follow-up at all, just come back to any of us or back to Markku. The instructions for going out to the aeroplane will be given by my colleague at the end of the Q&A session. I know we're all keen to get outside for that, so without further ado, could I take the first question, please? Sir.
What is the major difference between the the future Eurofighter will be offering to the Finnish Air Force and the Eurofighters as they are used now.
Okay. Steve or John, would you be able to say a little bit on?
We're looking at better exploiting the architecture within the platform to allow the platform to operate within the future environment. We're also looking at making sure that the future weapons, again, the architecture is able to support future weapons as they come on board. It's building on the strengths of Eurofighter already in terms of the platform, and also looking at maximising advances in things like display technology, so that the pilot is best served in terms of the information that he's given. Examples I could give with that are things like the helmet-mounted displays. We would be looking towards things that allow a digital helmet. Example would be something like Striker 2, which allows a full colour display and extends the space that the pilot's able to operate in, or able to see information not just into the cockpit but outside. And there are also areas of display technology at the moment that we would be looking to expand to give a wider and a more robust display to the pilot.
Does this version have a name? Is it something like a Trench 4 or some version?
Respecting the proposal process that we're going through, I wouldn't like to get into the details of the capability that we will offer in the revised RFQ response. So that it doesn't, specifically your question, it doesn't have a name.
Okay, yes?
Yes, I'd like to ask the question of the security of supply, since it's a critical thing. And in peacetime it's okay, but in case of crisis, that's when it's critical. So if you could open up a little bit for the security of supply regarding arms, possibly navigational, GPS or Leonardo mapping things, and so that what measures are you providing so that all these capabilities are available and a continuous flow of supply during the crisis. Peacetime we can leave.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that is for you, isn't it, John?
Yeah, sure. So our security of supply proposal is very much linked to our overall approach to this campaign. We seek to put as much of the capabilities we possibly can into country, utilising partners here in country, which will enable Finnish military and its industry, as I said in my brief, to be able to take that level of control. So they'll have access to key technologies. They'll have access to their own data in order to be able to operate independently for the periods of time which they need to operate in a time of crisis. So I think I wouldn't say we're unique in that respect in terms of offering a compliant security of supply proposal. I think our approach possibly is unique in terms of the depth to which we're proposing to go to.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes?
Is Eurofighter used anywhere from short temporary highway strips?
That's a good question. From my side, there aren't users that regularly operate off highway strips that we're aware of, that know about. That doesn't mean that it's not capable of being operated in that way, though. So the strengths that we have as a platform. So if you look at the high thrust to weight ratio of it and its robustness, I have no reason to doubt that it can operate off those type of strips. And I would actually like to go and do that. There's nothing better than for a pilot than to be able to land on a road.
Okay, one last question. John?
You spoke about the importance of data, and obviously mission data is critical in that. Does your proposal include the establishment of an EWAS for Finland?
Our proposal includes the transfer of the sort of capabilities that Finland would require in order to take that ownership and exploit their data. So yes.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay.